everyone, and welcome back to another video. So, I should have done this right after the second round, but I was busy with school and all that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna recap rounds 2 and 3 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Right now it's in the finals, so yeah, this is long in the making. So let's go over the Islanders versus Carolina series. Carolina swept. Let me spit out my gum. This series, how it ended, should not have happened. Carolina absolutely swept the Islanders. Game 1 score was 1-0 in overtime. Game 2 score, Carolina won 2-0. 5-2. 5-2 in the last 2 games in Carolina. So, not a great series for the Islanders whatsoever. They had a longer break because they swept Pittsburgh in round 1. So, could that have been the reason why they did so poorly in the series? Well, that could have been, but yeah, to me that's the reason why they swept. That's the reason why Carolina swept them. In my opinion, was that the Isles got a longer break than the Carolina Hurricanes did. So yep, shots that series, or game 1 recap of that series. Shots in that game, 30 Carolina 32, the Islanders with 31. So in terms of shots, it was pretty close in that range. The Islanders went 0 for 5 and the Hurricanes went 0 for 3. Game 2 recap, Carolina wins 2-1. And remember, the first 2 games were played in Barclays Center. So, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. Anyway, we're just going to forget about that. But yeah, the first 2 games were played in Barclays Center, not in Nassau Coliseum. Carolina won 2-1. Shots that game, the Islanders 21, Carolina with 18. Ew, I don't want my gum on my arm. I forgot to get like a napkin or something. Because by the end of this video, it's going to stick to the table, so... you know what, I'll just put it right. Islanders went 0 for 2 on the power play. Carolina went 0 for 3 on the power play. Game 3, Carolina won 5-2. Shots that game, Carolina 38. The Islanders 30. The Islanders went 1 for 3 on the power play. Hurricanes went 0 for 2 on the power play. So yeah, Carolina wins 5-0. They're up 3-0. Game 4. Again, Hurricanes sweep again. Game 4, the sweep in Game 4 should never have happened. The shots that period, Islanders with 28, Carolina with 21. Both teams had scored at least once on the power play. Islanders went 1 for 4, and Carolina went 1 for 5. So, yeah. Alright, now we're going to take a look at the series totals now. In this series, Carolina outscored the Islanders 13-5. 13-5. You got to remember, Carolina was a wild card team coming into this playoff race. Islanders were second in the Metropolitan. There's something wrong there. There's definitely something wrong there. Islanders went 2 for 14 on the power play. Carolina went 1 for 13. Shots, the Islanders won 16. the Islanders outshot Carolina 116 to 109. So yeah. Anyway, let's go on to the Columbus Boston series. Now this one, I predicted this one to go. I believe it was like 6. Okay, it was either 6 or 7. Let me check. I don't want to break the printer or anything. No, that's not it. This is my work desk back here, so it always gets like a mess over here. So I do apologize for that. I can't find it, so we're gonna have to just deal without it. You like my baseball posters back here? So let's go over game 1. Both teams went 0 for 4 on the power play. Boston outshot Columbus 37 to 22. Boston won 3-2. What can I say? Game 2. Columbus went 2 for 4 on the power play. Boston went 0 for 3. Columbus won in double overtime by a score of 3-2. Columbus outshot Boston 41 to 31. So series tied up at 1. Game 3 in Columbus, they beat Boston by a score 2-1. Let's see, what do I want to say? Oh, okay. Columbus went 1 for 3 on the power play, and Boston went 0 for 2 on the power play. Boston outshot Columbus 37-34. Right now, Columbus leads the series by a score of 2-1. Game 4, Boston won. Absolutely blew out Columbus 4-1 the score. Columbus went 0 for 5 on the power play. Boston went 2 for 7 on the power play. Boston outshot Columbus 46-40. This wasn't no overtime game. This is a regular three period full 60 minutes of hockey, and the shots were 40-46. I mean, are you kidding me, or I don't know, but anyway, series tied up at 2 at that point. Game 5 in Boston. Boston beat Columbus by a score of 4-3. Both teams went 0 for 2 on the power play. Shots were even at 36 apiece. So, and also another thing, shots that game, both teams at 36 shots on goal. Like, to me, that's like an overtime stat. Say the game goes like 3, 4, 5 minutes into overtime. I would expect that to be the shots in overtime. Not in a regular, I mean, it's the playoffs, so anything could happen, really. So, anyway, Boston leads the series 3-2. Game 6, this one wasn't even close. Boston beat Columbus 3-0. One play I would like to talk about is the Charlie McAvoy play toward the end of the second period. That's the only thing besides the second overtime game, besides the double overtime game. This is the only thing I remembered in this series. The call. It happened with like 1.5, 2 minutes. I don't know. I really don't remember how much time was left. But it was very, very, very late into the second, close to the end of the period. Charlie McAvoy, I can't remember now if it was one guy or two guys. But Boston, Charlie McAvoy, literally, I think it was like a full-on slam into his head. I don't know. Last time I saw the play was like 3 weeks ago. So, I'm sorry if I'm not like... Oh, here, I have my tablet right here. I could look it up. Dang it, that battery, so... Never mind. Oh, it's turning on. Maybe... Well, fine. Maybe when it turns on, I'll get to it. Anyway, yeah, Boston 3-0. They win the series. Series totals, Columbus went 3 for 22 on the power play. Boston went 2 for 19 on the power play. Boston outshot Columbus 17-11. Boston versus Columbus. Boston outshot Columbus 226-202. That's all I gotta say about that. So yeah, let's go on to Boston. Or I don't think we're done with the. I gotta go back because I forgot that we still have. Sorry, I'm gonna try to make this set like a bit nicer or something like that. I'm gonna hope that we get a new studio where, like, I could have a wall as a background and we could hang like those up and all that. Oh, you know what? Keep it on the ground. Because, oh, by the way, how much time? Because my camera can only last for 33 minutes, so. We're at about 11 minutes. We need to speed it up here a bit. Dallas versus St. Louis. This was my favorite series in the Western Conference. Close games, especially in the score sheet. We'll talk about game 6 because that was a blowout, really. Okay, let me find the Charlie McAvoy play. Okay, well, I'm finding that. Let's take a look at game 1. St. Louis went 1 for 5 on the power play. Dallas went 0 for 5 on the power play. St. Louis won 3-2. Dallas outshot St. Louis by a shot total of 29-20. Hold on. Well, that's getting loaded up. We'll do game. Okay, here we go. Oh wait, hold on. No. Because Charlie McAvoy was suspended. Oh. All right, we're gonna have to pause here for a minute. The phone's ringing.
First year. Nice. I'm thinking about a scuba diving trip. Oh. Poor Miles. You okay? Yeah, no, I'm good. Earn miles. We'll match them at the end of your first year.
I'm watching the hit from Charlie McAvoy. And that's what I thought too. I thought it was a shoulder to head contact too. Hold on. Okay, it's glitching a bit, so. Okay, I couldn't tell there because, okay, here's the slow-mo. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. So McAvoy's shoulder went into Anderson's head. And while he was falling backwards, he made contact with Chara. So, yeah, to me, McAvoy should have gotten a lot more than this. That was ridiculous. Anyway, so, all right. We're on the game 2 preview of Dallas versus St. Louis. 0 for 4. Dallas went 0 for 4 on the power play. St. Louis went 0 for 6. Dallas won 4-2. Okay. No. Okay. Shots. Dallas 35. St. Louis 34. Game 3 in Dallas. Dallas went 0 for 5 on the power play. St. Louis went 0 for 3 on the power play. St. Louis won 4-3. They lead the series now 2-1. Shots were St. Louis 34, Dallas 31. Game 4, both teams went 1 for 3 on the power play, except Dallas won that game by a score of 4-2. Dallas outshot St. Louis 31-29. Game 5, Dallas went 0 for 2 on the power play. St. Louis went 0 for 4 on the power play. Dallas beat St. Louis by a score of 1-0. St. Louis actually outshot Dallas by a score of 27, or by a total of 39-27. Dallas leads that series 3-2. First time they lead in the series. Game 6, win or go home for St. Louis. Dallas went up 1 for 3 on the power play. St. Louis went 0 for 4 on the power play. St. Louis beat Dallas 4-1. They outshot them by a score of 25-23. This series is tied up at 3, Game 7. Dallas went 0 for 0 on the power play. St. Louis went 0 for 2 on the power play. Nice job by St. Louis to be kept out of the box. I like that in a hockey game when a team doesn't have any penalties. So, yeah. St. Louis won in double overtime 2-1. St. Louis outshot Dallas 54-30. Dallas, are you pranking me? This is ridiculous. I think they were up by, I think the shots were like 40-18 at one point or something like that. I don't know. It was something crazy. I mean, what do I have to say? Anyway, St. Louis did win that one. They win the series 4-3. Total, St. Louis went 2 for 27. Dallas went 2 for 22. St. Louis outscored Dallas by a close 18-17. Shots, St. Louis outshot Dallas 235-206. I mean, the 54 shots, like, if there were like half that many shots, 27, then this would have been a better game to watch. But I mean, if you take 235, subtract by... the table's about to fall apart, so... We're going to have to speed it up here a minute. We may have to make a round 2 separate video. Oh, yeah. Okay. We're going to come back in just a minute, okay? To talk about Colorado versus St. Louis.